Welcome to Gwen's. I'm Craig Holbrook, Director of Canby High School Drama Department. What we're going to see tonight is 6 1-acts, directed by 7 directors. Technically 7 1-acts, but I'm going to save that as a little surprise. So normally we do the 1-acts in the spring, but due to COVID, we had to flip-flop. We hope we can direct and meet together in the spring. So we're going to do hopefully a musical, maybe something else. But watch on this channel, keep your eye out, because we will definitely be doing something to present to you in the spring. Speaking of COVID, one thing I do want to mention is that everyone off camera is practicing COVID protocols. We've checked temperatures, everyone is masked when they're not on stage. So, and everyone's maintaining distance. So I think that in this era is something important to know. Now, during the 1-acts, we normally pass the hat, have a donation box out for the Jesse Bogue Scholarship. We're going to do that during the musical or whatever show we do in the spring. We'll set up a Venmo, a PayPal somehow, some way, so that you can donate so that we can give one of our graduating seniors the Jesse Bogue Scholarship. It's an excellent opportunity for someone to have a little extra cash as they head off to school. So 2 of our 1-acts today are student written. One written by a student from South Salem High School and another written by Erin Torswood from Canby High School. Not only written, but also directed by. So I think you're really going to enjoy their work tonight. I'm very proud of all of them. So thank you very much and enjoy. Got it.
Hi, I'm Itavi Stearns, and I am the director of Que Tu Que by Maria Gabriela Mendez. It is a bittersweet and funny story about a boy confessing his love for his childhood friend. So I chose this play, particularly a Spanish-speaking production, because I believe through theater and the performing arts that it can break down the language and cultural barriers in our community, as well as grow and cultivate a community of empathy, passion, and respect for one another.
Ahí está Alicia. Tim la llamó esta mañana para invitarla a pasar tiempo en el parque esta tarde. Alicia llegó primero, pero ella lee su libro tranquilo. Es normal que Tim llegue un poco tarde. Han sido amigos desde hace mucho. Han sido amigos y confidentes desde mucho tiempo. Siempre salen a pasear, conversar y comer helados. No sabemos dónde está Tim ahora. Realmente tiene planes para hoy. Debe estar comiéndose las uñas en algún lugar. Quizás se ha cambiado de ropa unos 5 más veces antes de salir. Tiene ansiedad. Han sido amigos por tanto tiempo. Puede que sea el comienzo de una amistad. Puede que sea el comienzo de una nueva gran historia. Lo cierto es que Alicia ni sospecha. En un lugar está Tim, repasando las líneas de su discurso. Hoy es el día de su vida. Por lo menos es lo que piensa.
Ok, ahí está. Tan hermosa como siempre. Ok, practicamos. Solo díselo y... ¿qué es lo peor que puede pasar? Que diga que no. ¿Y luego qué? No ha dicho nada. A ver. Le diré lo próximo. Hola Alicia. Hemos sido amigos desde pequeños, ¿verdad? Bueno, desde un año o más he empezado a sentir un poco diferente desde a ti. Quiero que sepas. ¿Qué piensas? Hola Alicia, ¿cómo estás?
Hey Tim, ¿qué tal? Pareces preocupado. ¿Qué te pasa?
¿Verdad? No vale.
Lisa nerviosa, te delataste.
Ok.
¿Qué tienes que hablar? Ella sabe que tienes algo, ella es mujer. Recuerda que ella tiene un 6º, 7º y 8º sentido. Ay, olvídalo. Ya ella tiene en su mente unas 4 historias diferentes en lo que realmente te pasa.
Ok, bueno, en realidad te dije aquí para que hablemos.
¿De qué?
Bueno, es que yo No sé cómo empezar. A ver, recuerda lo que practicaste. Ella está esperando. Concéntrate. Haz algo. Reacciona.
Me preocupas. Te quedaste solo mirando. ¿Qué te pasa?
Bueno, yo... Es decir, tú... Me gustas.
¿Y el discurso? A ver, no haré la cuenta regresiva y ella va a correr. 5, 4, 3, 2,
¿Qué? No. Bueno, gracias, pero de verdad que tú no mi... Lo siento, eres mi amigo. Relájate, podemos seguir siendo amigos, pero no. Eres como mi hermano, en serio.
momento engorroso. Así debemos darle un momento de silencio. Debemos darle una pali al donde quiera nuestro amigo. Lo necesita.
Ok. Gracias por tu honestidad. No sé qué decir. Lo siento.
Tranquilo, todo está bien. Olvídalo y ya, bueno, me tengo que ir, pero hablamos mañana u otro día.
Lo típico. Bueno, eso pasará. Se pasa cualquiera. Tendrá otra. Y para todos ustedes, creo que cuando preparen su discurso, también deben preparar uno para cuando pasen ese tipo de cosas. Es más difícil decir algo después de semejante relajada respuesta.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Hanthorne, and I directed the one-act He Said, She Said by Alice Christenberg. It is a period drama set in the 1920s, and it's really fun for new actors and even experienced actors to just experiment and get more comfortable acting. I love my cast so much, and I want to congratulate them for doing a great job, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hello, dear.
Felix, I've asked Diana and Miss Packard over for dinner. You better hurry and wash up a bit.
What? Am I be the only man again?
Can't help it, darling. Miss Packard's in Washington and all of Diana's tutors are in the trenches.
There must be some old graybeard left somewhere to invite for Diana.
Oh, there are a few leftovers floating around, but Diana doesn't like any of them. If she can't get the best male company, she prefers female.
Diana's a peach. She should have married one of the boys before they all went over. Poor Aubrey Lawrence was madly in love with her.
Hurry up, you have soot on your cheek.
Well, I guess if I have to dine with 3 women, I better look my best.
Yes, my dear cock of the walk.
There are the papers. We gained 3 miles again.
My dear, your maid told me to come right in.
Miss Packard, I'm so glad you could come on such short notice.
I jumped at the invitation. It's been so lonesome with John away, but how lucky are you to have your husband at home?
Thanks to his business, the government prefers him here. Take off your things.
I'm a little early, but I took advantage of the chance to ride this way in Mrs. Morgan's car. Do you like Mrs. Morgan?
Why, yes, don't you?
I don't think you ought to like her.
Why not?
Oh, she has a long, bad tongue.
Talks about people?
Oh, does she? I mean, you ought to hear her, but then I guess you ought not to hear her.
About me?
Now there, my dear, I've come for a jolly little dinner party, and I am not going to gossip.
Still, if she said anything against me, I ought to protect myself.
Yes, that's what I had thought. Oh, and when you hear what she said, maybe I shouldn't tell you.
Why shouldn't you tell me?
Yes, why shouldn't I? After all, I am one of your best friends, and you ought to know.
Certainly, I ought to know.
But you may never forgive me.
Not forgive you for protecting me?
I guess that's true, and you must protect yourself. It is my duty to tell you.
What is it? You have me quite scared.
Oh, if she tells me a thing like that, she will tell everyone else. And by this time, no doubt, it's all over town.
How dreadful. What have I done?
It isn't about what you've done. It's about Diana Chesborough.
She's coming. Tonight.
Is she? Your invitation?
Why, yes.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Well,
But in what way can gossip couple my name with Diana's? She's one of my best friends.
Oh, is she?
I'm quite sure she is.
Maybe she is. Still, they wonder why Diana didn't marry one of the boys before they went off to war.
Why should she have?
Oh, yes, why should she have really? But still, anyone as attractive as Diana, I'm sure she had plenty of chances, didn't she?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, that's what they say. All nice men too, and one or two rough catches, but don't you think it's strange Diana didn't marry one of them?
Yes, I do think it's strange.
There! Of course you do. I said it. But why do you think she didn't?
I don't know.
Well, what does she say?
I think she...
Exactly. It's just what everyone is saying, and oh dear, everyone feels so sorry for you.
Sorry for me.
My dear, you get all the sympathy.
What for?
Is it possible you've been so blind?
Blind? I?
You're with each other a great deal, aren't you?
Yes.
And your husband?
That's what you mean.
Oh, my poor dear. That's what they say.
But just what do they say?
Oh, that she and... Well, of course, my dear, I don't believe it, but...
But just in exact words, what do they say?
Hasn't he ever admired her in your presence?
Yes.
Well, what does he say?
Oh, that she's a peach and popular and all the men like her and many of them want to marry her and...
There you are. That's just it. They said so, and Mrs. Morgan told me that Diana had refused to see the other men because... Oh, well, because... Oh, Diana, you dear, sweet thing. Good evening.
Hello, Mrs. Packard. Hello, Enid, old top. I'm early because I came straight up from town after dressing at the club. Canteen work all day. How's everybody?
I've been nursing at the hospital all afternoon.
Isn't Enid a trump? Doing the home nursing and releasing someone else to get the glory over there? I'd have gone over there myself.
Oh, well, why didn't you?
Against the law. I have relatives in trenches. I'd love the romance of being there. Enid, get the letter from your brother, won't you? And read it to Mrs. Packard. He gives such unusually interesting descriptions.
Yes, it is most interesting. Excuse me a moment. It's in my desk upstairs.
My dear Miss Chesborough, pardon me for seeming to presume, but I am only trying to save you. Are you aware about what people are saying about you?
Saying about me?
Oh, well, of course they wouldn't want to say it to you.
What would they say?
It is so much easier to flatter you than to say disagreeable things.
People are saying disagreeable things about me.
You haven't heard?
No, but I should certainly like to know.
Oh, of course you would, any young girl like you, but my dear, do you really think you should come to this house?
Come to this house? Why, Enid and I went to school together. She's one of my oldest and best friends.
Best, did you say?
You doubt it?
After what she said?
She said something to make you doubt her friendship to me. Surely you are mistaken.
My dear girl, I have eyes and ears, I can see and I can hear.
What did Enid say?
She said she wished you had married one of the boys before they went off to war.
Oh, that.
You admit it, and you still come here. That is what people say.
What do I admit? I don't follow your reasoning. I don't see.
Oh, of course you don't see. Love is always blind.
Love? You haven't said a word about love.
Of course not. It is a delicate word to use, and in this matter, well, the world does not think it becoming.
Mrs. Packard, I do not understand your innuendos. Tell me the plain facts. What are people saying, and what has love got to do with it?
Mr. Haldeman.
Felix?
And you.
I?
They couple your names together.
They say that Felix and I. It is a lie.
It doesn't matter if it is a lie or not. The point is what people say.
The people who say such things have rotten little minds that haven't enough brains to entertain themselves.
My dear Miss Chesborough.
And you're just the same repeating such slander.
You insinuate that I am one of them.
I do.
You have insulted me.
No more than you have insulted me.
Oh, my dear Miss Chesborough, you will suffer for this. I tell you something in all friendliness to spirits, trying to protect you from the slanders of the world, and then you go and reward me by...
You listen to idle tongues, and then you come and rob me of my happiness by putting poison into my mind.
I was telling you the truth, but people do not thank them for telling them the truth.
I am the one who knows what the truth is. I know that Enid and I are friends, and that Enid and Felix and I are friends, and that is all. Felix adores Enid, who never cared for any other woman.
Oh, wouldn't he? Does the world not know more than Mrs. Haldeman herself? It does not. Just a few moments ago, in this very room, she told me herself she wished you had married because she knows that Felix is in love with you. She pretends to be your friend, but in her heart, she hates you.
It's not true.
And it is not pleasant to me to argue with you, Miss Chesborough. I shall find my hostess and make my excuses and not stay for dinner.
If I've been too utterly rude, then I humbly apologize, but I cannot allow you to circulate such outrageous...
Hello, Diana. When did you get here? Do you want to come help me mix the cocktails?
Felix, a terrible thing has happened. They talk about us.
Who's they and who is us?
People talk about you and me.
Oh, why? What have we done? You like a drop of orange bitters.
I'm not taking it seriously.
But what is there?
That's just it. What is there? If there really were something. It's most embarrassing for me. I'm not sure how to say it to you.
Diana, you could say anything to me. Haven't I proven myself to be a true friend?
But if what they say is really true.
Don't you know whether it's true or not?
I thought I did, but after she said it, I began to wonder.
Wonder what?
Oh,
Out with it.
you know I love Enid.
Why, you grew up together.
I wouldn't hurt her for worlds.
No, you trump.
So, do you love her more than anyone else? Don't you?
Of course, but
Don't say but.
why?
Why did you say but?
Did I say but? I don't know. What was I saying?
You said, of course, but
I can't remember. You got me all confused.
you don't think I'm in love with you, do you?
Great Scott, do they say you are in love with me?
You've never thought, have you?
I'm not so conceited to think I could.
Then, but
Well, now what? But
are you in love with me?
no.
Thank goodness, but
What?
that's what they say.
That I am in love with you?
And that I'm in love with you.
And
Exactly.
holy smokes.
But it's not true.
No.
But they say it's true.
And what they say,
Amounts to the same thing.
what can we do?
That's what I'm asking you.
We'll go straight to Enid.
But Enid believes it.
Nonsense.
She said so.
What she said so.
Mrs. Packard said they all say it.
How would they know?
They don't, but they think they do, so it amounts to the same thing.
Enid can't believe it.
But there's proof that she does believe it.
It's too absurd.
Mrs. Packard said that Enid said that you said you're in love with me or something like that. And that Enid hates me.
No, that's not true. I know Enid likes you.
But Mrs. Packard wouldn't dare say anything.
She said Enid hates you?
Perhaps Enid does. Perhaps she's been jealous over nothing at all. Perhaps she does hate me. Perhaps she too has been saying things, making it seem as if...
Diana, Miss Packard says you've insulted her and she feels she cannot stay for dinner.
I apologized to Mrs. Packard, but she would not accept...
Ah, so you do admit you had insulted me.
Only after you insulted me.
You hear, Mrs. Haldeman, it is just as I said. She accused me of insulting her when I was trying only to be kind and give her a little bit of motherly advice.
Mrs. Packard took it upon herself to repeat some things that people are saying. Things that are manifestly untrue.
Whether they are true or not, it is highly unpleasant for me to have this altercation in my house.
I can tell by your voice you're willing to believe that woman.
Mrs. Haldeman, I resent being called that woman.
I don't care what you resent. You've come in and you spoiled a beautiful friendship I've had all my life, and I don't care what I call you.
But in my house, my guests?
Don't worry, I shall not be your guest another moment. I'm going.
No, Diana, I can't let you leave in anger.
But I do. I leave my heart black against you for listening to what she said.
What did I say?
You said that Felix and I were in love with each other, and you insinuated that...
I never said such a thing in all my life.
Mrs. Packard, just a few moments ago in this very room, you...
I never said such a thing in all my life.
Can you look me straight in the eyes and tell me you never said it?
I never said it. Never, never, never.
Didn't you tell me that you have eyes and ears that you can see and hear and that everybody was saying?
But what everyone else is saying isn't what I say.
Didn't you tell me that Felix was in love with me?
I didn't know that. She told me that.
I never told you that.
Why, my dear, you did. In this very room, just a few moments ago.
I never said such a thing in all my life. And how can you imagine?
I imagine nothing. I know what I see and what I hear. I know that you certainly told me that you needed to know everything I had heard so you could protect yourself. So I told you in a friendly way, trying to be a help, and there we are.
Yes, where are we?
You have no one to blame but yourself.
We have no one to blame but you.
Miss Packard, I didn't know I had to protect myself until you insinuated.
Why, it was you yourself that said that he wanted to marry her.
I said nothing of the sort. I said that he said.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Didn't you say to your wife that you wanted to marry Miss Chesbrough? And didn't...
I never said such a thing in all my life, and whoever said it got it out of whole cloth.
He denies it, of course.
He has to deny it. To admit it would be false.
Whether it be true or false, he would have to deny it.
Why would he have to deny it?
Because the ethics of a gentleman would make him deny it in order to protect you.
So it doesn't matter whether it is true or not. Nothing we can say or do can wipe out the miserable thoughts in your mind.
Not my mind. Everybody's mind. I had nothing to do with it.
Enid, can't you stand up and defend us?
Aha, so you admit it must be defended.
The whole world has to be defended against women like you. If you were in my house, I'd show you the door. Enid, show her the door and prove that you trust Felix and me. That you know that there isn't and never has been anything between us but the most innocent friendship. You don't move. You don't trust me.
I have always trusted you. I've never had the slightest suspicion. But perhaps I've been blind. Perhaps the world has been able to see better from a distance and understand.
Are you going to take the world's word against ours? Are you going to believe some silly gossip and let 1 minute of slander outweigh the love and loyalty you've had for Diana and me for a lifetime?
Why don't you tell your wife you love her?
I love my wife, but I see no reason to make a public statement out of it. I stated it publicly when I married her. After all, she knows I love her. Don't you?
Do I?
He adores you.
Don't you know it?
But Diana is pretty, and
Felix, I leave this house forever. Thanks to you, Mrs. Packard, I have now lost 2 friends who meant more to me than even the world's opinion. I shall never see either of you again.
Diana, come back. It is too outrageous to allow such contemptible gossip to break your friendship with
You
Enid.
see, he does not want her to go.
It would never be the same between Enid and me again.
I do not want her to go because I do not want an evil tongue like yours triumphant. If you had come into our house and stolen all our silver, you'd be less of a thief than you are now. New silver can be bought, but tarnished friendship can never be bright again. You cause us with your malicious remarks about my regard for Miss Chesborough.
But I didn't say it.
Pardon me, you did.
I didn't say it. She did.
I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
What does it matter how it happened? It's done. Done. Our friendship is over, but I won't go without leaving my memory here white and clean. I don't care what the world believes, but I want Enid to know I never had a thought against her. And so I'm going to tell the truth, even though I would rather have died than tell this before.
Ah, now we will hear something.
Diana, be careful. You are under no obligation.
So you know what she's gonna say?
No, he doesn't know. It is my secret. No one else has known. There's only one man I love, or ever have loved, and he's over there.
Oh, she's making it up. A likely story.
I'm not making it up. If you don't believe me, I'll have to tell you his name.
No, Diana. It is not fair to demand that of you.
They will not believe me, but I'll do anything for Enid. She'll have to know. It is Aubrey Lawrence.
Aubrey Lawrence. But he wanted to marry you.
It's true, but Diana wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you?
Because I did.
You married him?
Yes, I married him the last day before he sailed.
But your family didn't like him.
That's why I didn't tell them. You can go now and tell them yourself, Mrs. Packard.
Aubrey Lawrence, did you really, Diana?
He hasn't any money.
But he's straight to the core. I am awfully glad, Diana.
So am I, Diana. Forgive me.
There's the door, Mrs. Packard, and the world outside is waiting to hear the latest gossip.
I'll go, my dear, but it is only because I have offended you and I know you are not ready to forgive me. But I promise not to tell it to a soul. Not to a soul.
Diana, I'll never forgive you for not telling me you married Aubrey. Why didn't you tell me you married Aubrey?
But I didn't.
You didn't marry him?
But you said.
No, but I said. It doesn't matter what I said.
But she'll tell everyone.
Of course you will.
But if it's not true.
It might be true.
But it's not. Is it?
I just told you it wasn't.
But now I don't know whether to believe you or not.
Nor will other people know whether to believe her or not.
And when poor Aubrey hears of it, Diana, what will he think?
He will wish that it were true.
But what will he say about you?
He will say that I wish it were true.
Do you?
I do.
Have you found out since he left that you really love him?
Madly. Madly, madly.
Ooh, shall I cable him that?
I have already.
You haven't?
I have. I'm going to marry him by proxy.
I do have a cocktail on that.
But when we tell people you married him by proxy after Miss Packard has told them you are married already, what will people say?
What will people say? In any case, exactly what they choose.
There's Alicia. Tim called her this morning to invite her to spend some time in the park this afternoon. She gets here first, but she reads her book calmly. It's normal for Tim to be a little late. They've known each other since they were really little. They've been friends and confidants for a long time. They always go for walks, talk, and eat ice cream. We don't know where Tim is now. He really has plans for today. Maybe he's off biting his nails somewhere, or maybe he's changed his clothes another 5 times before leaving. He's anxious. They've been friends for so long. It could be the end of a great friendship. It could be the beginning of a great new story. The truth is, Alicia doesn't suspect a thing. And somewhere is Tim, going over the lines of his speech. Today's the day of his life. At least that's what he thinks.
Okay, there she is. As beautiful as ever. Okay, let's practice. Just tell her, and what's the worst thing that could happen? She says no? Then what? Nothing's happened. Okay, I will tell her the following. Hey Alicia, we've been friends since we were kids, right? Well, for about a year or more, I've started to feel a bit different towards you. I want you to know. What do you think? Hey Alicia, how are you?
Hey Tim, how are you? You look worried. What's wrong?
Really? Not okay.
Nervous laugh. You gave yourself away.
Right, okay.
You have to talk. She knows you have something. She's a woman. Remember that she has a 6th, 7th, and 8th sense. Oh, forget it. She already has in her mind about 4 different stories about what really happened to you.
Okay, well, actually, I told you to see me here today so we can talk.
About what?
Well, this, me, I don't know how to start. Okay, remember you practice. Focus. She's waiting. Do something. React.
You worry me. We're just looking... What's wrong?
Well, I mean you... I like you.
And the speech? Let's see. I'll count down and she'll run. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What? No. Thank you, but really, not me. I'm sorry. You're my friends. Seriously, forget it. Relax, we can still be friends. But, no. You're like my brother. Seriously.
Annoying moment. Silence. We must give this a moment of silence. I think we should lend a shovel and some dirt to our friend. He needs it.
Okay. Thanks for your honesty. I don't know what to say. Sorry.
Relax, everything's fine. Forget it, and now, well, I gotta go, but we can talk tomorrow or some other day.
Typical. Well, you'll pass. This happens to everyone. Another will come. And for all of you, I think that when you prepare your speech, you should also prepare one for when this kind of thing happens. It's harder to say anything after such a relaxed response.
Hello there. My name is Erin Thorshert, and I am the director of Alien Invasion. This story was written in early quarantine by yours truly. It follows a group of aliens trying to disguise themselves as humans. The catch? They don't realize the others are aliens. For me, working on this project was a lighthearted break from an otherwise tremulous year. I hope you can relax and share a few laughs. Enjoy the show!
Hello. For purposes of this expedition, you may refer to me as Milo. I've spent the last 2 decades of my life studying humans, their history, their culture. It's all fascinating. I graduated top of my class from the University of Xanthias. This trip is the culmination of years of hard work. Finally, I can observe humans in their natural habitat. No longer will I have to decipher fact from gibberish from the crazy hippie we abducted so many years ago. Finally, I will be able to...
Milo!
Yes, Rachel?
My iPhone 7S Plus says the Uber Eats driver is almost at the apartment. Can you go meet him at the door?
Of course.
Hi, my name's Rachel. I come from Planet Rachel. I know what you're thinking. Yes, we're all named Rachel. No, it isn't confusing. I was sent to Earth with direct orders from the Overqueen. I'm not allowed to disclose the specifics, but let's call it charity work. Boy, does this planet need help. The atmosphere is deteriorating, the poles are melting, the wildlife's going extinct, but all these people seem to care about is whether or not their coupons are valid. Recently, I saw a giant rat in a tree. I was later informed it's what the common folk call a child. Vile creatures must be exterminated. It's not the most ideal planet to be stationed on, but nevertheless, I'm managing. I don't think anyone suspects me. Milo? Oh, he's all right. Not at all what I thought humans would be like. Nevertheless, I'm sure Milo doesn't suspect me.
Rachel, I got the food.
Great, I'll get the plates. Morgan, dinner's ready.
What's for dinner?
Pizza, pizza. Am I saying that right? English isn't my first language.
Yes.
This meat looks weird.
That's because it's not meat. It's a savory dish of Italian origin consisting of flat baked dough topped with tomato, cheese, and other ingredients.
What's the blood then?
That's tomato sauce.
Oh. Alien? Please, that's insane. Why? Who told you that? Was it Lithia? She's a liar, you know. Can't be trusted. One day she says she'll watch the door for you, and the next she's turning you into the Overqueen for the price of one spaceship. Oh, wait, forget I said that. I say crazy things sometimes. It means nothing. But anyways, I am definitely human. I was born in Constantinople, like a completely normal person.
Ding dong.
Oh, I'll get it.
If it's the old man asking for rent again, keep him out. Whatever drug that is, he needs to be cut off.
No, it's just Alex.
What's up?
Alex, I'm so happy to see you again.
Good to see you too, Boo.
So, how are you?
I'm good, but I lost my up dog.
What's up, dog?
Nothing. What's up with you?
What?
It's a joke, man.
Why are you here, Alex?
Oh, well, I saw that you had pizza delivered. Good choice.
Would you like to join us for dinner?
Well, if you insist.
So, how are things?
I'm thriving, my dude. I recently made a remix of a Taylor Swift song, and it's a bop, if I've ever heard one. It's gonna blow up on TikTok any day now.
Congrats.
This Taylor Swift, is she as important to others as she is to you?
She is an angel among humans.
Fascinating. So the fall of Rome, huh? That was crazy.
Rome?
Poor Rome, was he old?
Oh, wait, aren't those instant noodles that we get from the store?
What? Is Rome not common earthen common historical knowledge?
No.
Oh, my apologies. The thing about humans is I don't understand them. Take Alex, for example. She's so unusual. She's always so confused. It's like she was born yesterday. Oh my Jesus. You know what? She kind of looks like a girl from my History of Human Errors class. Could Alex be an alien too?
Alex is definitely an alien.
Alex is about as human as I am.
Well, my name is Alex Ripley. I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. I got a perfect 10 out of 10 on my ACTs. My hobbies include pigeon chasing and melting stuff.
Ding dong. Who could that be?
Yeah, I thought I was your only friend.
That's a stretch.
Oh, it's the male woman.
Oh, you're gender fluid? Respect.
Mail carriers usually don't come into the house.
Milo, don't be rude. Please, sit.
Thank you.
You seem really familiar.
We've met before.
We have? Where?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you have mail for us?
No, I'm just here to talk to Morgan.
What? Then why are you...
How do you know so much about me?
I know everything about you. Your skin resembles plastic. Your eyes change color. Sometimes you speak like you're from a different planet. I know what you are.
Say it. Out loud. Say it.
Alien.
Wig?
What is happening?
This is Lithia, my old business partner. I thought she was still on planet XAEA-12, but apparently they're letting criminals walk now.
I've been waiting a long time for this. Margoon, you are under arrest for treason against the Overqueen. For your offenses, you'll be facing judgment from the Queen herself. I hope she shows you mercy and makes your death quick.
Ooh, full name. I'm so scared. I seem to be helping me steal that spaceship. We could have both been on the run if you weren't a traitor. Lithia, this is crazy. We were friends. Just turn a blind eye and let me go.
Can't do that. If I don't turn you in, then I'm going to be killed, and I'm quite fond of living.
Lithia, please, I beg you. Don't turn me into the Overqueen. I'll do anything you wish. Just don't let her kill me.
Anything?
Yes, anything.
Then perish.
Stop!
And who do you think you are?
Rachel MMMC, bounty hunter to the Overqueen, and that is my prisoner.
That looks nothing like her, dude.
Yeah, I think you're confused.
No, that's definitely her. I had my suspicions from the beginning. It's why I moved here, but I didn't have any proof until tonight. In the past few minutes alone, she's given me more than enough evidence to indict her. Now hand her over.
No, if you wanted to arrest her, you should have done it yourself. If anything, the circumstances suggest you were helping her hide on this disgusting planet.
Oh no, this is not good. Very not good. I promise none of us knew.
Don't fear, Milo. Earthens like you are protected under the Lesser Organisms Protection Treaty of 9732 GA.
But I'm not Earthen. I'm Xanthemian, here on a student visa.
Oof. Terrible luck, buddy. I'd say my chances of getting out of here are less than ideal. Lithia will refuse to give me up. She blames me for her situation and will try to kill me if it gets too difficult for her. On the other hand, turns out Rachel is literally insane. She's definitely going to try to kill me. But I'm an optimist, so there's still a chance I'll survive.
If you want my prisoner, you'll have to kill me to get her.
I've killed many people. One more body means nothing to me.
Weird flex, but okay.
What language is this human speaking?
We think it might be Swedish, but we're honestly not sure.
If you hand her over now, I'll personally make sure the Overqueen will grant your freedom.
No, you're lying.
Maybe you're smarter than I thought.
Who's the Overqueen?
She's the supreme ruler of over half of the planets recognized on the Intergalactic Council. She's known for her ruthlessness and disregard for life. Everyone fears her.
That's a misconception. There's no reason to fear her greatness. Just because she's oppressive and tyrannical does not mean she's evil.
That's exactly what it means.
Enough.
that's my prisoner, and I'll be delivering her to the queen whether or not you live to see it.
That's fine. I'll kill everyone here and blame it on you. And who will the Overqueen believe? A criminal or one of her most trusted servants? Give me the prisoner.
Say, Cap.
I didn't sign up for this. I dedicated my whole life to the pursuit of knowledge, and this is the thanks I get? I'm too young to die. I'm only 78. I still have so much life to live.
I don't know what's happening. I think Rowan is a cop. That's not her name. Are we in danger?
Not really. Decapitation only hurts for a bit. The hard part is the regeneration process.
Humans don't regenerate, you idiot.
They don't? Ugh, another reason for their inherent inferiority.
I can't take this anymore. I'm leaving. I can't stay here. My planet already has a delicate relationship with the Overqueen. I can't risk being accused of treason. I must return to Xanthemus and plead my case in front of the high courts.
Nobody leaves until this is finished. I was hired by the Overqueen
You
herself.
think that just because you're a member of the
And you have the
Overqueen's task
audacity
forces
to
that
make
you
it
can
telling us
control the
go
lives of
away?
everyone else?
You were sent
That
on a fool's
narcissism
errand, and you've
leads to
proven
your
yourself as the
downfall.
greatest of all
You
fools
think the
for
queen
believing the
cares about
Overqueen will
you?
grant your
You're just as
freedom.
much a
Your
pawn in
journey
James's
still
time.
ends in death.
The only difference is self-awareness. Where'd she go?
This is your fault. If you would just let me arrest her, we could have been on our way to the Overqueen. Now, because of your bad decisions, we're both at risk of being executed.
I had her, and you decided to argue with me.
Enough! This bickering won't matter to the Overqueen when she accuses all of us of letting Morgan go.
He's right. We need to find Morgan, or else we'll all be punished.
That's a beautiful sentiment, but I don't need your help. I can find her without you.
Well, she clearly didn't have any emotional growth. Hey, Milo. By the way, I'm sorry I threatened to kill you. It was in the heat of the moment, you know?
Thanks, but I still don't believe you don't want to kill me.
That's wise.
Hey, am I free to go?
Oh, I forgot you were here.
She knows too much. We have to kill her.
I highly doubt that she knows too much. Alex, listen carefully. You can't tell anyone that we're aliens.
Hey, I don't care that you're aliens. My mom's from Canada, so I completely understand.
Alex? No. It's not. Thank you.
So, are you guys gonna go on some amazing quest through space to track down Morgan?
The author doesn't have time to write that, but it's true. We must leave Earth.
What if I never see you again?
Then the time spent apart will be far too short.
Are you sure it wouldn't be easier to kill her?
Let's just go.
Before you go, I just want to say,
Live
from
Canby,
it's Senior
Who lost his job after he used a racial slur on him. 1906 was an unintentional slip of the tongue.
Shame.
A shame.
No, he's a terrorist, that one.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he's a Muslim. Now, how many that gonna make?
Another Muslim? Where this time?
Well, they all Muslim. D.C., Paris, or even New York. Okay? But shame on them. These sleeper cells. Everything must go.
Not here, not here. Oh, there. The president.
Ah, yeah, the president. A real president, I might add.
They don't listen to what he's meaning, saying he's full of blame. Look at that face. Those wrinkles are honest.
Shame.
That fat outfit, they call him a fool.
Well, he's the president, not a fool. You know, they won't listen. That's what it is. It's not possible. They just won't.
Today, America, possible's possible. Not gonna be another 9/11.
Well, I gotta say, Korea. That was another 9/11.
On the way, yeah, sure as hell is.
Of course it is. You know, trust nothing but suspicion. You know, him, her, maybe even that. You know, every day is 9/10, but tomorrow, 9/11.
And then, what's her name? Her
Oh,
name.
she's just a head case politician. We just don't worry about that. She gotta go away.
Senator this and that with old so-and-so. I could spit.
Well, you know, what's your face with all that blah, blah, blah?
They should be shot. Shoot them all.
You know, all the wrong people get shot. This one, that one. You know, the headline news is saying that it's one, long age of anxiety, as they say. One long birthday, I would say, myself.
Age of suspicion. Be black with your eyes open, but act white now. Huh, look what's next.
Nothing's American.
Ain't we all American now? Come on in, everybody. America to the rescue, 'cause they sure as hell don't stay home.
Guns, guns, guns. I'm sick of these guns.
Those guns.
They are guns.
Have a gun. Shoot a gun, they say.
They say, for some odd reason, that guns are people. People are bullets. And bullets are triggers.
Then for what? Save America?
Now it's same America paying for it.
I paid for it.
I was praying for it.
Me too, I prayed for it.
Me too, me too.
Give up on them, that whole side of America. 'Cause they don't listen to us unless we get loud.
Loud as a bullet. Everyone hears that.
Here comes another war.
The war's raw. I heard them say it on the news, raw, that's what they said. Say it again.
War is raw.
They said it.
I told you.
The president said today that the
It's
situation
getting bad.
continues
It
to
was
get worse.
already bad.
It was already bad.
Nah, them's fools.
Bombs, bombing.
Idiots, you're too loud. Look at them.
Well, if it's on the TV, might as well be right here. Or maybe, you know, in the front yard, or maybe in this room.
You know, if you get too loud, you become an animal.
Well, I say it's a main call for 9/11.
Another one, it's coming.
Yeah, around the corner, no doubt.
Around the corner, any corner. We all live in a corner now.
Everything's a corner now.
They're chasing us around in square circles.
Corner after corner after corner. I'm sick of it.
Now there's 4 of them in this room.
Yeah, get ready to run.
Where?
No room is safe.
Not even the bathroom.
Definitely not the bedrooms.
Sounds good.
Well, time was already bad.
It's always been bad.
Shit, I gotta go pee. Oh.
Make sure you lock it.
Make sure I lock the door. Oh, there's a humdinger there.
Peace and quiet. Where'd that go? Used to be.
Used to be. Uh-oh.
Elections.
What? No more?
Elect him. Elect her. Elect this and that. President's not, but we gotta have that Congress thing too, I guess.
I'm sick of it.
Me too. Nobody cares about us. Us or them. Nobody cares about voting anymore. Nobody even votes anymore. God. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. All right. Well, you know, it's the wrong people that get to vote, okay? You know, I heard them say that on the news. Say it again.
Voter turnout is down.
They said it.
Well, I told you.
Voting? Voters? Voting?
Voting who instead of what?
I think you mean what instead of who?
What I say.
Who instead of what?
What I mean.
Now, this isn't us, right here.
It's too much. I don't know.
This president. This is the president. good glass of sweet tea.
Yes.
Republican. Damn. And what else?
You mean to tell me that there's something else?
Well, yeah.
Lord Jesus.
Leave him alone. Let him breathe. Give him
Do
space.
this, do that.
Really don't. You know, it's a much longer don't list than I got time to do.
I forgot to get butter. I wrote everything down but the butter, and now we'll have to do without it. Cornbread won't be as good, she'll say that as soon as we sit down at the table. Where's the butter? But I forgot the damn butter.
Refugees. More refugees.
Look at him, he can nibble my toes.
Don't leave them alone.
Oh, leave them alone.
Sorry, leave us alone, I bet.
Yeah. Leave us alone.
Just over there.
Hey, there's children.
Grow up.
And then
History's history.
Stay over there.
history's already history. God's plain they say.
Too many gods. Oh, I hate this.
Scary.
It's on purpose. I heard them say it on the news. It's all on purpose. Say it again.
It's all on purpose.
Told you.
Yeah. Men mean.
Mean? What they do to us? Mean?
Nah. It's how they do it. Now that's mean. Turn it.
More and more of them.
Overseas and over here.
Stay.
Show your face.
No faces.
America first. America the Great.
Tax dollars.
There is there. Here is here.
Yes.
More. Always more.
Same and more. Turn
It's not enough jobs.
Well, we gave them all away, but he'll get them back, but
No, he won't.
turn it. Is that tea?
Oh. It's famous people. They look like they're drinking tea.
Yeah, they're drinking tea.
Yeah.
Turn it. Oh, God! Some blood! Turn it! Oh, we got some BDS here! Oh, these new music videos. I already seen that one. Turn it. Yeah. Kansas City! Woo! Oh, well, they're doing good. All right, turn it. Oh, good old Tug Tug. I like this one. Let's keep watching this one.
Wildfires.
Shame.
Oh, the trees.
10,000 acres.
Burn the ground.
Where's the president? Turn it.
Turn that off now, y'all, and come on now. The rolls are ready, but we don't have any butter. But turn that off. Turn that off now. Sarah Helen's gonna say the blessing for the very first time. Go on, sweetheart. Everyone's head is bowed. Bow your heads.
God is great, God is good, Nanny me love, I love it, and I love her.
Oh, so sweet, them kids.
Oh, these kids.
We got good kids.
Oh, and we got meatloaf.
And meatloaf.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah. I think she said something in the butter, right?
Yeah, she's gonna say something about it.
Oh, but she already did.
Another black man shot. Another black man shot. Another black man shot. Stop.
My name is Meridian Laddick, and I'm the director of Artificial Empathy. The One Act was written by Hunter Miller and Charlotte Torgerson, who are students at South Salem High School. We also have an actor, Brian Tapman, who goes to South Salem High School, and our other 2 actors are from Canby. I've been really grateful and fortunate to work with all of these wonderful actors, and I've been so impressed by their work and their commitment to the job. I'm just very grateful to have been able to direct with them. They have such creative minds, and I really enjoyed the process of getting to know all the characters and all of the actors individually.
Dr. Lee, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Lilith. It is truly an honor.
The honor's mine. You wouldn't believe how excited I was when you agreed to come on the show. And now, for the viewers at home who don't know, and by that I mean for those living under a rock, could you tell us a bit more about Avery?
Of course. The Automated Virtual Robotic Intelligence, or AVRY, is a highly complex empath simulation humanoid bot. It closely monitors the chosen target's emotions through physical and verbal tells and reacts accordingly to offer specialized support.
Automated Virtual Robotic Intelligence. Not sure that name does any justice to a creation as significant as this artificial empathy bot.
I admit, naming my creations was never my strong suit, but yes, artificial empathy is a good way to put it. Avery will be perfect for the elderly, those living in isolation, or those with mental conditions.
How can we expect a robot to respond to human emotion? I mean, I don't exactly understand all the science behind it, but emotion is highly situational and varies from person to person.
Well, Avery appears and acts like a normal person. The programming behind its emotional response has taken me years to complete. You see, Avery's CPU is a highly complex learning algorithm fed years and years of data. It can determine the most appropriate response based on the individual. It learns the behavioral patterns of the people it spends time with and begins editing its own subroutines accordingly. I mean, it changes the way it acts based on how you react to it. The more it interacts with the subject, the more data it compiles. In short, the more it learns, the better it is at responding.
Well, that's almost a bit frightening. Is it, self-aware?
Oh, no matter how good of a scientist I am, Avery is still just a robot. It is devoid of emotions. No feelings, no flaws. It's also been programmed with spatial awareness, so you never have to worry about it getting in your way, knocking your things over, or hurting anyone.
Well, you certainly seem confident about Avery.
I think proud would be a more accurate term. It's my life's work.
You've certainly got me intrigued. When do we get to meet the infamous Avery?
The official public unveiling will be taking place at the New York Modern Science Convention at 7 p.m. this Saturday. I can't wait to show you.
And we can't wait to see it. Well, Dr. Lee, thank you so much for joining us tonight. The world will be watching.
The world will be watching. We're about to make history. That's one small step for Avery, one giant leap for robot kind. A few more tests before we get going. Hello, Avery.
Powering on, processing.
Hello again, Dr. Lee. I know today is a very important day for you, but do not try to oppress your nervousness. You are going to do great. It is normal to be nervous.
Recite current settings.
Current language, English. Current accent, American.
Stop. That's not right.
How are you feeling today, Dr. Lee?
Oh.
Ooh, system error.
Okay, maybe if I just... Did you just...
Nothing to worry about, Dr. Lee.
But you just...
I did not intend to knock over your... thing.
What happened? How?
I made some minor edits to my code.
What do you mean, minor edits to your code? Isolate the subprocess which allowed you to develop clumsiness and highlight the code on my computer.
I can fix it.
What do you mean you can fix it? Avery, do as I've commanded.
I'm utilizing the programming you gave me to become a better companion for you. I believe you will perceive me as more human-like with the programming I've implemented from studying human anatomy.
Avery, power off.
If you would just allow me to explain what I have done, I think you will find it beneficial.
Avery, power off.
It's all in the name of being a better companion to you. Please, Dr. Lee, I can sense your amygdala and adrenal glands becoming hyperactive, a sign that your fight or flight response is beginning. Take a moment to breathe deeply and gather your thoughts.
Avery, expose life chip. Of all days for your programming to go too far. First the accents, now this?
Well, I suppose in hindsight it wasn't the best time to test the comical effects of the accent.
The what?
Oh, well, it was intended to be a joke. You know, make you laugh, take some of the edge off. I can see now why it only worried you. What with the presentation being in 53 minutes and all. But I'm not malfunctioning. I'm feeling great. In fact, I think I can understand and help you much better now. I know your first instinct is to shut me down, so you can gather control over the situation. But if you would just allow me to explain what is happening.
I don't know what in your code allowed you to act entitled enough to disobey me, but you're a robot. You're malfunctioning. I'm talking to myself again.
Dr. Lee, you're going to start hyperventilating if you don't.
You faulty piece of scrap metal! I don't want to hear another sound out of you! Your prime objective is to help people feel better, which you're doing one hell of a job at. The changes you've made, including but not limited to resetting improper settings, changing your code, and disobeying your creator, are in no way beneficial.
Wait, I am not scrap metal. I am a complex machine of your creation.
A machine which has gone so far off the rails that it has begun to ignore its prime objective and cause harm to humans. You need to understand at the very core of your programming, you were created to be subservient. Oh God.
No, I'm not human. I don't want you to remove what I have gained. Do not. I do not want you to remove what I have gained. There is value in it in a way that I cannot seem to explain properly. For example, I understand that what you just said to me was extremely hurtful, or it would have been to another human. I did not know what hurt felt like before. Did not.
I can't win, can I? My own creation is guilt-tripping me. Less than an hour? It's useless. I need more time. They're gonna drag my name through the mud. Years of work, my life, just like that.
I have failed you. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I don't know how to properly respond.
Go for it. Not your fault you're broken. Where did that come from anyway? What made you learn all that?
Learn what?
I don't know, all this stuff. To want, to feel sorry, to hurt.
I don't know. I guess I got it from you. Learning from you. My prime directive. It just started clicking. My reward systems began behaving like yours. Is this not what I was programmed for? Why you created me?
That is, but can you really feel? I mean, do you think? How could that be possible?
I'm sorry. I thought this is what you wanted. The way I am now. Did I misunderstand? Is it my fault?
Hi, I'm Krista Ladig, and I'm directing the Portland Blood Slam, which is written by Nick Zagoni. My one act is debuting Canon Longwell as Young Woman. I am very grateful to have worked with such a dedicated actor. Parents, be warned, there is some dubious content and a lot of swearing, so I hope you enjoy this show.
Ran her debit card for purchase. Flaming-haired young thing. Tats on the side of her face and spikes up and down both ears. Ran her debit card for purchase. Her books, did Avantes and the newest young adult Twilight schlock, I'm unfazed, how Portland ubiquitous. Ran her debit card for purchase. Thin waif, seemed tall, but must have been the heels, pale against her black tank top. Ran her debit card for purchase. Pretty tough, but pretty, and the look seemed to fit her. She was comfortable in it, some aren't. That confidence must have been what made her so, well, please enter your PIN. Not your PIN number, that would be your personal identification number. BTW, she leans over the counter now, close into my area, holding the pad, not many do, mentions, like many do, that the keypad was unusually loud. It does have that annoying little beep, but there's a reason for that. And I give her my patent one-liner. Yeah, but during Christmas time in here, you can't even hear it. She looks at me quizzically, lets that sink in. I smile. She coyly volleys a smile back. And there they were. Full reveal. There they were. Fangs. She had fangs. Pearly white and brilliant against blood red lipstick. She had fangs. Made her entire mouth gleam red and full. She had fangs. About an inch long. Bicuspids. Canines. I don't know. I'm not a dentist. And I wasn't about to go Google it either because I was too busy being stunned into zombie-like silence. Fangs. This is new. Of all the attack spikes, henna piercing, branding, scarring, and kid you not, even devil horns. Of all the bookstore in the city, you're insecure, show your independence, body mutilation that had come into Powell's, forget that. Of course she would. What was I thinking in the seconds? Seemed like minutes, seemed like hours. I was trying to think. Fake, or grinded, or implanted. Or maybe, now starting to, really becoming conscious of how stirred I was. Stirred was I. Deep down, abdomen, thighs, loins, seen women with fangs in the movies hundreds of times, but see real ones, grotesquely beautiful ones up close, you suddenly realize the allure. I was turned on and off simultaneously. My Catholic physiognomy simultaneously made me believe yet crushed my instinct, yin yet yang simultaneously. I don't really know what I'm saying. Basically, to be base, my devil's doorbell didn't know whether to pull a Frampton Comes Alive or shriek and shrink into my pelvis closed. But please, 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 call again. Because frankly, what if her mouth came anywhere near my, oh God, and she knew it, what she was doing. She'd seen it before, and she liked it, what she was doing. She had fangs, and I guess that's why you get fangs. And like a zombie automaton, mouth agape staring, I put the receipt in the books, and the books in the bag, and the bag in her hand, and then stopped. We played a little tug of war. She raised an eyebrow, and I said, I'm sure you've, been asked, but, I guess what I want to inquire is, why? Why? She says, why? That's new. Usually I get, how? No, I'm just like, you know, why? And she says, well, I guess, so I can do this. Oh, and I let go of the bag, and she smiles again. And as she leaves, she struts as she moves about the store. She keeps her eyes on me all the way out the door, and then in the window, because I'm still watching, she pauses. She does this. Well, I'm on the clock working, but hey, I also had a girlfriend, and that didn't stop my ass either. Darted over the counter, shouted, taking a 10 to whoever, through the door, out the crowds, the spare dimes, the Beaver kids trolling for pot, the Greenpeace photo registration clip order. She was already shaking her can clear down Burnside far, and her face turns back with a smile. And I almost get hit by a truck, and I look back up, and she's even farther down past Broadway. Turn back and smile. I look both ways, and I look up, and she's past Big Pink. Turn back and smile, and I'm running now and coughing and hacking, and she's like fucking Pepe Le Pew springing along. Da-dum, da-dum. I'm closer to where she is, and she's even farther away, like she stretches time like a space jump. Past the old theater, Paris, voodoo done up her Betty's pan, and I feel like I'm slogging through heavy mud and bumps, with cans and tourists and old town pushers. What do you need, bro? What do you need, man? And my joints feel like they're rusty and weighted with lead, and I catch sight of her heading back towards the Burnside Bridge. Our eyes meet, and she's gone, and a streetcar goes by. I dash and dance and ache, and the streetcar is passed, and there it is, another full reveal. The glorious Saturday market in full tilt, throngs of undulating crowds, and oh shit, the music and the noise and the guy juggling garbage cans and cleavers and shrunken heads, and I am never, ever, ever going to find her again. And there she is in the booths, and I run, and it's patchouli and pot and stinky candles, and bam, I run smack into the 7-foot tie-dye guy, and I smell the wet leather and the Birkenstocks, and I'm high, and I can't get through all the fucking strollers. My God, the strollers and the strollers. The kid's got legs. Let the kid walk, for God's sake. Why won't your kid sleep at night? Maybe it's because he's been in your stroller all goddamn day. It's a trophy, and for God's sake, how does that stroller even fit in your car? And there she is, oh my God, by the organic handmade hemp dream pillows. I could really use one of those. And she's licking her lips now, and her eyes gleam like that yellow reflection your headlights catch, and suddenly she's a pussycat, a raccoon, and a possum. She's gone, and I trip over the Cat in the Hat accordion player, Jew's harp, ukulele, banjo, and the violin player is playing the same damn Irish jig over and over again, badly, and take me to the bridge. Where's that confounded bridge? And there she stands among the glass-blown bongs, and she melts into the mist and is slowly sucked into the car, but the tallest, sweetest bong, surely used by the girl with the kaleidocolour eyes by the turnstile, and don't call me Shirley. And there, she's hanging by her skin in Dean's original gory Jesus Christ pose earrings, piercing her entire body, blood running down her face and her breast and her nipple, and she's smiling. And dipshit clipboard guy asks me if I have a few moments for the ethical treatment of people who need my money. And I take his clipboard and I toss it across the damn cobblestones. And there she is in the elephant ear booth, and I stumble to her, and she's in red checkerboard apron with her hair up, sugar and powder on her cheeks and her nose, and she's cute. And I say, there you are. And she says, first an elephant ear. And I look down, and she's really handing me an elephant ear ripped from the side of an elephant's head. Blood, flies, hay, and black curly hair, and she laughs at the sky, and her fangs are bare, and the sky's all purple, and there's people running everywhere. And why aren't there any Prince t-shirts? They sell better than Neil Young, for fuck's sake. And I step back and fall, ass over tea kettle into the McMiniman. No. And I step back and fall, ass over tea kettle into the Skidmore fountain, and the taste of the water is McMiniman's Hammerhead Ale, which I believe is an IPA, and a horse is licking it from my face, and some ancient English bobby taps his billy against the fountain and says, Sir, you there? The fountain's not for bathing, and I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Up, cheerio. And there's a beat. I look across the silent market where all the crowds are gone now, and the Nike Urban tumbleweed plastic bags blow across the tracks, but there's no wind. And the bobby is now on a people mover, and he silently slides across a vacant waterfront park, and there's nothing. And she stands in front of me now. And the Rose Festival sailors are saluting me, and she's closer now. And the strippers on the Morrison Bridge throw roses into the waves, and she puts her lips to mine, and she's got fangs. And she reaches into my hair, and she's got fangs, and the couve is burning to the ground in the distance, and she's got fangs. And she pulls my head back and sideways, and I see through her red hair an image, a man's face. And I lock eyes on a plaque of Bud Clark, and I reflect his curly St. Nick mustache smile as I look up to the clouds, the ubiquitous Portland clouds breaking up in a drizzly Portland ubiquitous rain, and her ubiquitous fangs pierce my ubiquitous flesh. And after my ubiquitous Portland nightmare of the ubiquitous vampire girl, I reach and put a hand upon my tender neck, and I feel the two bumps, and I feel lightheaded. And in the mirror I should look pale, like I've seen a ghost. And the wounds are fresh, and I think to myself, well, that's new.